this year? The Lakers. The Lakers deserve to suck.
They do.
They really do. I mean, good God. If you want to assemble the team the worst way, do it the way the Lakers do. You know how the Lakers assemble their team? The Lakers assemble their team like you would assemble a team in 2K if you're just simming every game, right? So, right, you have your team. You sign a bunch of players to one-year deals. Play the team out. None of the players return. All you keep is LeBron and AD. And then each year you just keep replacing them with mid-level exceptions. Mid-level exceptions. Well, now they have Russell Westbrook, who has a heinous contract that's aged extremely poorly. They want to get rid of Russell Westbrook, but nobody wants Russell Westbrook because A, his contract's atrocious. You're going to have to eat a lot of that. And he's just not an efficient player at this point. Can't shoot.
No.
And his awareness on the court, there isn't any.
Yeah. And Lakers Nation is insane. You go on Lakers Twitter and they're acting like they can trade Russell Westbrook for Buddy Hield. I'm like, first of all, if you trade for Russell Westbrook on your team, what do you need around Russell Westbrook? Shooters. What do the Lakers need right now? Shooters. You're not going to be able to flip Russell Westbrook for a bunch of shooters because every team in the NBA doesn't like the Lakers. They feel like the Lakers shouldn't have won the bubble championship, which I don't think is a really valid championship because we had Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson basically get paid because they were shooting the lights out. Everyone's shooting percentage went up. Then you give two old injury-prone players a chance to rest for like 6 months before you resume playing basketball. So LeBron and AD could get healthy when Anthony Davis is perpetually hurt. Neither of them can play a full season anymore. That was the only time he made a deep run in the playoffs. The other time, Anthony Davis on cue got hurt against the Phoenix Suns. Then the Suns go on to make the finals. And then you bring in Anthony Davis with LeBron James, who everyone was saying Anthony Davis was a top 5 player in the NBA. Well, if we want to talk about Steph Curry with Kevin Durant, 2 top 5 players in the NBA not being fair, how about LeBron James and Anthony Davis? How about stacking your team? And the NBA is not going to forget that. So they're not just going to help you get rid of Russell Westbrook. The NBA is laughing at you because the Lakers are a joke because Rob Pelinka, year in and year out, sits down and assembles the worst team in the NBA. They get rid of Dennis Schroeder. They bring back Dennis Schroeder. They bring in
the Dwight Howards of the world.
They bring in Dwight Howard twice. They bring in Malik Monk. This is the same team that, as soon as Kobe retired, they decided to sign Luol Deng and Timothy Mozgov. It's a huge contracts. And then LeBron comes in. LeBron, typically when he goes to a team, it goes like this. LeBron leaves Cleveland, goes to Miami, demands a bunch of veterans. All those veterans get old. LeBron complains he doesn't have any help because everyone on the team is old. Then LeBron complains that he doesn't want any young players on the team because he wants veterans with experience. Then complains when they get old and get hurt. Then he goes back to Cleveland. Kevin Love gets old. Kyrie Irving wants to leave him because for some reason he thought LeBron James was a bad teammate. I don't know. We don't know exactly what happened in Cleveland, but then everyone on Cleveland gets old because you're stuck with old J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson, who you got paid through your agency, Clutch Sports. That was the only reason why you signed J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, and Tristan Thompson to bad contracts. You complain they get old. Then you leave when you're the one who put the team together because you're the worst general manager in basketball. Then you team up with Rob Pelinka and you both compete to who can be the worst general manager when you have Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and Kyle Kuzma all playing better collectively than Anthony Davis, who has been hurt every single year and not been available in the playoffs. The best ability is availability. Anthony Davis has not been himself since he got his championship. He's shown no motivation. And then the Lakers sit back there and blame every single thing on Russell Westbrook like it's his fault that the Lakers traded for him and decided to put him on the bench. It's like, you knew who Russell Westbrook was. LeBron knew who Russell Westbrook was. And then you are terrible with Russ when everyone is like, this isn't going to work with Westbrook. It didn't work with Kevin Durant. It's not going to work with Anthony Davis and LeBron, who needs the ball in his hands. LeBron is a ball-centric superstar, and Russ can't do anything without the ball and doesn't play defense and can't shoot. And LeBron and Anthony Davis aren't efficient shooters themselves. And you're trying to play Dwight Howard because Anthony Davis is a baby and refuses to be a center and play a 5 when you are a 5 if Draymond is. So it's like, and then on top of that, you know who hates each other and had a rivalry? Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverley. And then you decide to bring in Patrick Beverley and start him and put Russell Westbrook on the bench. You don't think Russ feels some type of way about that? You don't think there's something going on between Patrick Beverley and Russell Westbrook? Then you think that's a good idea. And then this team continues to jack up threes. LeBron doesn't want to go through the free throw line because he forgot how to shoot free throws over the end of his career because he goes through phases of having 10 different routines throughout the regular season. When Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Carmelo Anthony have the same free throw routine since high school. So it's like, you're the Lakers. It's just like, you're not going to make the playoffs this year. Like, someone laughed at me for saying the Lakers wouldn't make the playoffs. I'm like, no, Anthony Davis is perpetually hurt. And without Anthony Davis, there's no shot of them making the playoffs. They can't play defense and they can't shoot in the modern NBA. That's a problem. And then you just lost to the Portland Trailblazers and Damian Lillard dropped 41 points on you. And then there was only one other player in that game in double figures and you lost.
Yeah. Everything you're saying about the Lakers, I completely agree with. The Lakers, since LeBron has taken over with the Lakers, and now this is year 4 with them, right?
Yeah.
It was play the first year with all those guys that they had, the D'Angelo Russells of the world, and the Brandon Ingram and Josh Hart and
Julius
Lonzo
Randle,
Ball,
Kyle
and
Kuzma,
all these guys, Kyle Kuzma, and then they traded. I mean, they traded a haul.
All of them.
They traded basically everyone except for Kyle Kuzma, right? Kyle Kuzma stayed. They won the title with Anthony Davis, bubble championship. Say what you will about it, whatever. And then the very next year, they need to get a spark, and they trade everybody else that's on their team, which is the Kyle Kuzmas of the world, their first-round picks. They don't have a first-round pick until 2029.
Yeah.
Which is absurd to me because they have the Stephen rule. And then now they have Russell Westbrook, which, by the way, they were also interested in Buddy Hield, which was a much better fit for the Lakers. Rob Pelinka also, this year, after a terrible season last year where they blamed it all on Russ, like, you know what? We need some defenders because we were terrible defensively last year, and we need some grit. Let's go out and get Pat Beverley. Now, granted, if we excuse the fact that him and Russell Westbrook hate each other, and we just look at a team that needs to get grit, and they go out and get Pat Beverley, all right, that's awesome. Pat Beverley is a gritty player. He's a nice player to have on your team, right? But forget the fact that him and Russell Westbrook hate each other. They've been at each other's throats since they've been in the league together. And then you bench Russell Westbrook for Patrick Beverley after all the beef.
Oh, not only do you bench Russell Westbrook, you say Darvin Ham said he was going to bench Russell Westbrook. Then he starts him the first game and crumbles under the pressure and then proceeds to put him back to the bench in the next 2 games. So it's like he caved, started Westbrook, and then was like, oh, no, I was right, and then I need to bench Russell Westbrook. So it's like, was this Frank Vogel's fault? Or was Frank Vogel I need to get out of here?
No, it wasn't Frank Vogel's fault. The problem with this entire team, this whole organization, is Jeannie Buss. Jeannie Buss, obviously we know Dr. Buss, Showtime Lakers. They also got Shaq and Kobe. And they had about 30, 40 years of dominance where the Lakers were the face of the NBA. But since he's passed away, we've had the old Kobe years where he's surrounded by a bunch of bums. And then after Kobe retired, they had a period of just being literally the worst team in the NBA outside of the Knicks. Then they get LeBron because LeBron is the only NBA player who's like, yeah, the Lakers actually, for somebody at the peak of his powers, LeBron James, by the way, goes to the Lakers. He demands a trade with Anthony Davis. They win that bubble title, which there's a lot of different theories on that, whether or not it was more deserved or not. I'm not one to comment on it because I feel like, the bubble situation, it was a tough situation to be in as far as mentally, being in an isolated space like that. So say what you will. And then the way they've just assembled teams the last 15 years has been atrocious. They have done such a bad job, and the Lakers are the most dysfunctional organization in all of basketball. And it's not even close. The only team maybe close is the Knicks, but the Knicks, you expect it. The Lakers are supposed to be the Cowboys, supposed to be the Yankees. They're supposed to be a consistently great team. And the Lakers, for the better part of the last decade, have been pathetic. And they continue to be pathetic. They're even more pathetic now because you have LeBron James, who is a top 5 NBA player of all time. You have Anthony Davis. And then you have Russell Westbrook, who is a Hall of Famer. All 3 players who Anthony Davis, maybe not quite, but the other 2, definitely Hall of Famers. And you guys are pathetic. You guys are terrible. You guys are going to be one of the worst teams